You are watching T to the M to the IDD.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? T to the M to the IDD. I am back with another video. This is going to be something a little bit different. Typically, when I do my videos, whenever I travel somewhere, I put together a nice vlog and show you kind of what went on through the day. Now, this one is going to be different because you will be able to kind of sit back, relax, and just enjoy my recap of my trip to Chicago. It was a great trip. I had a great time, so I'm definitely excited to share my journey in Chicago with you all. Now, one thing, did you notice if you look down at the like button that it highlighted the like button like that? Would that encourage you to hit the like button? I don't know, I thought that was a pretty interesting feature that they added, and I just wanted to see if you all took notice to it too. But by the way, hit that like button for me if you enjoy the content on this channel. Okay, so let's jump into this video. I had a great time in Chicago. Now, Chicago. I have so much to talk to you all about Chicago. Now, when I actually went to Chicago, I actually stayed about 30 minutes away, and we had got an Airbnb. We got this Airbnb in the suburbs. I was trying to be in the South Side Safari. You heard? Typically, when I don't get a hotel, I normally go for an Airbnb first. Sometimes you can find great prices on Airbnb and third-party sites like that. So we stayed in a place called Skokie, which was pretty far from the city once I actually got there. And my mode of transportation, I actually ended up getting a Toro. So Toro is where you can rent other people's vehicles that are in the city, and most of the time it is cheaper than getting a rental from the airport. So those are some of the things that I highly recommend whenever you travel. If you look and you see that the prices are a little steep for the regular rentals and hotels, those are some second options, because I know people ask, how are you able to travel as much as you can? And trust me, I look for deals. Even on the flights, sometimes I buy them ahead of time and just plan. So keep that in mind. Now, the prices in the city, they were high, but they were skyrocketed because Lollapalooza was actually in town.
What up? What's up? Hey.
Hey, what up, boy? Yeah. We were on the news the first year. Yeah. On the news this year.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Y'all in time for Lollapalooza?
The news! Going into the reason why I actually went to Chicago in the first place, it was actually Clickcon. And Clickcon is a conference that is held in Chicago. So in 2022, I actually had heard about Clickcon, but I was too late to actually make arrangements to go to Chicago and attend it. So for the next year, I actually put it on my radar to make sure that I tried to go to this conference, because I always like to try to see what these different conferences are about. We have Imaging USA coming up, and while you're watching this, we have WPPI coming up while you're watching this. And so as long as I know I have like a roadmap of what's ahead, I can kind of plan for those things.
There were like 15 people in there.
Now, one of the things about Clickcon is it definitely is a smaller venue compared to your Imaging USA, your WPPI. Is a smaller venue, it's more intimate. However, I will say that it did not stop the support in terms of the photographer community coming together, and also the vendors and sponsors. So I would definitely say it's still a nice place to visit. Now, while I was at Clickcon, I definitely ran into a lot of people within the community, and that was a great thing to do. Also, they had a lot of booths there. So of course, T to the M to the IDD, I had to go into the booths and get a few shots of the setups that they had. It's only right?
Oh man, yeah. What's going on? Paul JC Photography, man. What's going on? Man, I just chimed in so many of your lives, man. You don't make no sense, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. Let me see what that shot looking like.
Look at him.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Sony in your hand, right?
You know what's in my hand. You know what's in my hand.
One of the things that I like about Clickcon compared to other conferences is that Clickcon is more so based on photo walks. Like, I love the structure that they have. First and foremost, your pass has access to so many locations that they outline for you that you need permits for, and your actual badge acts as a permit for you to take photos in that particular location. And they have a list sorted out, but it is probably like a dozen or more different locations throughout Chicago where you can shoot. As long as you have that badge, you have a permit with your badge. That is pretty dope. Okay, so I didn't personally take advantage of those photo walks that they had going on, but it was nice that they did have those photo walk options for you to be able to build your portfolio, create content in general, and then also have the community get together. Now, as for me, you know, I like to explore the city. So that is a lot of what I did personally. I went through the downtown area and I just tried a lot of different things. Like, Chicago has some of the most beautiful architecture. So T-Med had to try taking some street photography. Okay, I tried to get some street photography going on in Chi-Town. I did. I also tried to do a little bit of pictures with strangers, as I normally do. That's nothing new to me, right?
Excuse me, I got a question for you. I have a YouTube channel. It is Pictures of Strangers, and I wanted to know if you could help me make this video taking pictures with you. All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
The last thing that I ended up doing with exploring the city was location scouting. Location scouting in a new city is very, very important. Okay,
This is a little location scouting right here. I'm actually glad that I stopped by here because it's pretty tricky. you missed a turn, you there's 10-15 more minutes added on to your trip. All right, the Chicago traffic is not a game to be played with. So this is Ohio Street Beach, I believe. Yeah.
First of all, timing, because I'm having these photo shoots set up, but I'm traveling such a far distance that I need to know how far it's going to take me to get there. We got Lollapalooza in town, so that's extra time, right? Parking is another problem, so I need to know where I can park. So all of these things combined I definitely needed to do a location scout, and it actually turned out to be good for a few of the locations that I had, because it let me outline and kind of plan ahead for the photo shoots that I had. During this time, Nikon had just recently released the Nikon Z8, and they actually sent me the Nikon Z8. So on this trip, I had the Nikon Z8, and then we had SJ with his Sigma 105 1.4. I had to pair the two together, okay? I could not have what they call the bokeh master in this new creme de la creme Nikon Z8 and not put them together. So that was like my combination, okay? That was my combination for this trip. The Nikon Z8, hands down. One of the things that you have to deal with when doing these photo shoots are flakes, right? We know that you can't avoid them, right? You can't avoid them. Sometimes it's just going to happen. Now, Tog Life had a situation with a flake.
Once we get back to our Airbnb later, I'll have him, because I think he's still like trying to figure out the schedules for the shoots that he has for the next couple of days. So once he figures those out and we know the times, then I'll shoot that to you, and then you just let me know where we can sprinkle you in, and then we'll figure out where's a good spot to shoot and all that good stuff. Sound good? No worries, no worries. Absolutely. Look, listen. Sometimes it be like this, right? Like things get crazy.
I had a situation with a flake, but luckily my flake actually rescheduled and she came through for me. So when that happens, I actually believe the excuse that they gave me beforehand. Okay. Now, I actually had 3 on location photo shoots. All right, the Nikon Z8, and most of the time I had the Sigma 105. Sometimes I switched to the 85, but for the most part, those were the 2 lenses that I would take advantage of. The first shoot that I had was one of the best sceneries that they were telling me Chicago has to offer, because you just get that city skyline, and I knew that it was going to be epic. However, the weather. I think I got lucky at the last second. The clouds started to open up, and it really let me use the sun as a backlight for some of the shots. But for the beginning part of the shoot, I was just disappointed because it was so overcast. I just wanted the sun to come out, okay?
See? Get them natural laughs, all right?
The second shoot, it was a little iffy because the sun came out and then the sun went back in. Then it started to drizzle, and this was a beach shoot. My model also had a makeup artist set up. The makeup artist canceled, so we still opted to go through with the shoot. Had a great time on that beach. We actually scouted that beach. Had a great time, got some shots, and I actually used the 35mm on this shot because it was close and personal, and I actually used a continuous light so that I could get more of the ambient light from the city buildings in the background. Now, my third shoot, this shoot was at a Chinese pagoda park. All right, and it was nice, but again, the weather just kind of sucked the life out of the shoot because I was shooting with the city backdrop in mind, right? But since it was so overcast, the clouds were covering the building, and I just couldn't get the scenery that I really wanted to get. So when you have those situations and you are looking for something in particular, but you don't get it, it's kind of like a Debbie Downer, but I had to keep going with the shoot, obviously. So I got some decent shots, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Now, greatest thing about YouTube and using this as a platform to network, create content, I've always said, is the fact that it brings people together. And so with this platform bringing people together, while I was in Chicago, someone actually reached out to me that was from Chicago and let me know that it was a photo meetup happening for a sunrise photo shoot. So what did I do? I woke up at 5 in the morning to go to this sunrise meetup in Chicago, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to make content, okay?
$5 a.m. sunrise shoot in Chicago.
That meetup ended up being interesting. It really wasn't a sunrise because, like I said, it was overcast. The clouds did not open up. When they call it the Windy City, it really was the Windy City. It really is. It was just people fighting the wind, holding lights. If I had to be a one-man band in Chicago, I don't think it could happen because my camera would probably get knocked over. My light definitely would get knocked over with a softbox on. So luckily we had a team to get the job done. That's probably one of the best things that happened during this particular trip. But overall, great time. Great time, okay? Got to explore the city of Chicago, and I'm definitely looking forward to going to Clickcon next year. All right. So I hope you like this sit down with T to the M to the IDD. That's my time in Chicago. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
What is going on, guys? You just tuned in to T to the M to the IDD, and if you enjoy this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you really enjoy the content, check out some more of the videos that you see right here. Oh yeah, and hit that like button for me.